Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Amit Physiotherapy Classes. I hope all of you are getting benefited through my lectures. So today I am going to continue with part 3 of knee complex, and in this part 3 we are going to discuss about screw home mechanism. So let's start with screw home mechanism. Before going to screw home mechanism, we should be aware what is coupled motion. This coupled motion can be seen in our elbow joint, even in our spine also. Means one of the movement will be combined with some other movement in other plane. So what is coupled motion? As we all know, there is a oblique orientation of tibia and femur. Okay, tibia and femur doesn't lie in same vertical line if you check the anatomical position of the body. So there is a oblique orientation known as physiological valgus. So due to this oblique orientation of tibia and femur, flexion extension movement does not occur as pure sagittal motion. It also has a frontal plane component. Okay, so two components are there for flexion extension, that is sagittal component and frontal component. So that's why it's termed as coupled motion. Now what are that two components? Means one is our flexion extension. What is the another two components? Means for one for flexion and one for extension. Therefore, during flexion, what is going to happen? The tibia moves medial. Tibia is going to move medial to the femur, and with extension movement, tibia comes lateral to the femur. So we can say that flexion is coupled with varus motion and extension is coupled with valgus. Varus means moving medially. So flexion is coupled with varus medial and extension is coupled with valgus, that is lateral. How we can understand that? For example, you take the elbow joint and try to do the elbow extension. Now what you can see here during the elbow extension, that our forearm is going away from the midline of the body. It is not in the same vertical line if we draw from the humerus. Okay, so it suggests that during extension we are getting lateral movement of the forearm, and during flexion of the elbow joint the forearm comes closer to the midline of the body. So same thing is happening in this coupled motion around the knee complex. So when we are trying to do the flexion of the knee, so tibia is moving medially, and when we are trying to do the extension movement, tibia is moving lateral to the femur. Coming to automatic or locking mechanism of knee. Why the term is there automatic? Okay, now what happened? Why the term is automatic? There is an obligatory lateral rotation of tibia that is going to accompany final stage of knee extension, terminal extension. That's why it is also known as coupled motion. The coupled motion is called the automatic or terminal rotation or locking or screw home mechanism. Now what does it mean? Obligatory means compulsory. There is a compulsory lateral rotation of tibia, okay, during last knee extension, terminal extension, last 5 degree. When we are, if this is like when we are sitting in a high sitting position, okay, femur is fixed. Now we are going to move the tibia for the extension movement. When you are trying to do the extension movement during your last 5 degree, what will happen? There is no muscular force required to bring the knee in final terminal extension movement. There is compulsory lateral rotation of tibia is present, which will be happening in the last 5 degree, and we will be getting the final extension position. That's why it is termed as automatic or locking mechanism of the knee. Now let's start with locking and unlocking of knee joint. So first we will discuss in non-weight bearing position. Means it is an open kinematic chain. It is not a closed kinematic chain. It is an open kinematic chain. Means person is sitting in high sitting position. Means tibia, or you can say feet, is not fixed with the ground. Now what's happening during this non-weight bearing? So person is sitting in high sitting. Okay, knee and femur both are in 90 degree flexion. If you consider this is femur, this is tibia. Okay, I am considering throughout from the 90 degree. Okay, I am not going from back to the full flexion and from there I am starting. This is the 90 degree position. From here we are supposed to bring the tibia in the extension movement to bring our final extension, where we will be seeing the locking mechanism. Now what is happening? As we all know, our medial articular surface of knee is longer, okay, whether it is in femur or tibia. Now, what is going to happen? During last 30 degree of non-weight bearing, NWB is non-weight bearing. So, non-weight bearing position, high sitting. During this last 30 degree, what is going to happen? Now the movement begins. The tibia is going to come in the extension movement. Tibia started to come in extension movement. Tibia is moving up. Okay, so rolling and gliding both are in same direction. Rolling and gliding will be in same direction. Already I have discussed in concave convex, because tibia is concave and it is moving on convex. So rolling and gliding will be in same direction. So when tibia is moving in anterior direction, what will happen? As medial surface we know is larger, medial surface is larger, so what will happen? The lateral will complete its rolling and gliding before the medial surface do. Okay, because our medial surface is larger like this and lateral is small. So what is going to happen when we are coming towards the extension movement? This lateral part has done its movement, means further it will not move because it has already came in contact with all the surfaces of the lateral side. But medial articular surface is larger, still it is supposed to move. Okay, so once the lateral surface stops, what is going to happen? The medial surface continues to roll and glide anteriorly after the lateral surface stopped to move. Okay, so these are the first 4-5 points, that first of all we know that medial articular surface of knee is longer. Now what is going to happen in last 30 degree of non-weight bearing knee extension? The tibia is going for extension, and as we know medial articular surface is larger. Due to that, lateral will complete its rolling and gliding before medial does. And once the lateral surface stops doing rolling and gliding, still our medial surface is going to continue. Okay, now what is going to happen? This results in lateral rotation of tibia on femur. Now as we are reaching towards the terminal extension 5 degree, during the last 5 degree what is going to happen? There is a lateral rotation of tibia on femur. This is the obligatory rotation which is required during extension. Okay, now due to this what will happen? It is going to be a locked mechanism. How? There will be increased tension in the knee joint. Once we came in terminal extension, the tibia came for lateral rotation on the fixed femur. Okay, due to this the tension is going to increase in the knee joint, bringing the knee joint into close pack or lock position. So now what will happen due to this? The tibial tubercle have now become lodged in the intercondylar notch. And during this time, meniscus are tightly interposed between the tibia, and femoral condyle and ligaments are taut. So during the final terminal extension, what will happen? The tibial tubercle is going to become lodged in the intercondylar notch of the femur. During this time, meniscus will be tightly interposed between the tibia and femoral condyle, and that time ligaments are also going to be taut, tight. So this is known as our screw home mechanism. Okay, now coming to next, let us go with a diagram how actually it goes. So the person is sitting in high sitting position. Consider here in diagram it's chair. Just consider it is a high sitting position, and from here the person is going for terminal extension. Now what is happening during this terminal extension? As there is last 5 degree of extension, in the last 5 degree of extension, this tibia is going to rotate lateral rotation on the fixed femur, and there will be a locking. So how actually? For example, see this is our roughly diagram I am trying to draw. This is our tibia and this is our femoral condyles. Okay, so this is known as intercondylar tubercle, which is separates the medial and lateral condyles of the tibia. Okay, this is medial condyle. Consider this is medial side, this is lateral side. So this is the medial condyle of femur, and this is medial condyle of tibia, lateral condyle of femur and lateral condyle of tibia, and this is intercondylar notch. Okay, now what is going to happen? As the person is going to reach in the terminal extension, last extension, this tibia will move in lateral rotation. When it is moving in lateral rotation, this tibial tubercle will go and lodge in this intercondylar notch, and we will get the locking mechanism of the knee joint. And during this time, our ligaments, our capsules, our meniscus, they will be all meniscus will be interposed properly in between the femur and tibia, and ligaments, capsules and other muscles will be properly tight. Now let us come to the unlocking. Now how the knee joint can be unlocked means from extension to flexion. So as we know, the knee has to come in flexion movement. So there should be an opposite direction of movement, because for locking, what happened? For locking, the tibia went in lateral rotation. Now due to a flexion force, now a flexion force is required to produce the flexion movement. This flexion force, what it will do? It will result in a medial rotation of tibia. It is going to do a medial rotation of tibia. So again, the larger medial side, the larger medial condyles of femur and tibia are there. So the larger condyle of tibia is going to move first, and then shorter lateral compartment. Then our lateral compartment will move. So when it is happening, this medial rotation is going to provide the unlocking mechanism. And now next, one important point here. If there is lateral rotation still during unlocking, what will happen? Joint surface, ligaments and meniscus are going to be damaged. Now how we can understand this? Already I have explained in previous diagram. See, during locking mechanism, high sitting position, femur is fixed, tibia is going for last terminal extension. During its last 5 degree, what is happening? The tibia rotated laterally and its tubercle went in intercondylar notch and it became locked. Okay, now still further, if we want flexion, but still what happened, due to maybe some abnormality, there is a still lateral rotation going to take place, means still you are trying to go for further lateral rotation, and during that time already your tubercle is properly lodged in the intercondylar notch. So still if you are going for a forceful lateral rotation, the joint surface, ligaments, meniscus will be damaged. So remember, for unlocking, the tibia should go for medial rotation, and for locking mechanism, the tibia should go for lateral rotation. This all we are discussing about non-weight bearing position. So this finishes our here locking and unlocking for non-weight bearing. Now let us see for weight bearing. Now in weight bearing means the person is going to stand from the sitting position or stand from the squats position. So during last 30 degree of extension, when the person is coming for standing position from sitting, what will happen? Now here tibia is fixed. In this weight bearing, tibia is fixed. So which bone is supposed to move? Femur. In this position, what will happen? Femur is going to medially rotate on the fixed tibia. And once the femur rotates medially during the last terminal extension, that is condition is known as locking. Not condition, that stage is known as locking. And for unlocking, what should happen now? The femur should rotate laterally. So during flexion, that is unlocking, there should be a lateral rotation on the femur, of the femur on the fixed tibia. So that will be known as unlocking. Let's see this diagram, how in weight bearing. So here it is weight bearing position because it is a closed kinematic chain. Okay, now here the person is going to try to stand, okay, from the sitting position. So when the person is going for standing position, the tip, it will come in final extension. Okay, still it is, now the movement is starting for last 30 degree of extension. During this last 30 degree of extension, what will happen? The femur, this femur bone is going to rotate medially. Okay, now during this medial rotation of femur on fixed tibia, again the intercondylar notch is there and tubercle, they both will be locked, means it will be interposed in between each other. So that will be bringing to locking mechanism. And now here in second diagram, if you see, the person is going to do squats. So for squats, the knee should be unlocked. Then only it is possible to go for flexion position. During this time, what should happen? The femur should go for lateral rotation on the fixed tibia. And once it happens, it is known as unlocking mechanism. Some important note point. The primary function of popliteus, as we know, it is medial rotation of the tibia on the femur. Okay, what it is? Medial rotation of the femur. So, because medial rotation of tibia is required to unlock, we know how. Because in non-weight bearing position, when the person is in high sitting position, we are moving the tibia bone in anterior direction. Okay, means we are doing the extension movement. As we are reaching the terminal extension, there is a lateral rotation of tibia that is bringing locking. Now for unlocking, what should happen? The tibia should come for medial rotation. So see here, which muscle is doing the medial rotation of tibia? Popliteus. So we can say that unlocking the knee has been attributed to the popliteus muscle. But still, you need to keep in mind that obligatory part, what we have discussed, that compulsory part of lateral rotation of tibia in the terminal extension, that it should be noted that unlocking is the part of automatic rotation, even locking also, terminal unlocking and terminal locking. And why it is? This is due to obliquity of the joint axis and the anatomy of articular surface. So the obligatory medial rotation of the knee joint during early flexion is a coupled motion that would likely occur even with the paralysis of the popliteus muscle. So if there is a paralysis of popliteus muscle, still it is possible to do the unlocking. Okay, because it is a obligatory medial rotation during the initial flexion, and same obligatory lateral rotation is there during last 5 degree of extension. So without muscular contraction or force also, terminal 5 degree extension can be achieved. Thank you so much for listening.